Today we will talk about why modern women are afraid of being single and lonely. They fear being kept in the dark and no one wants them to date or have a relationship with them. We need to understand how this happened. Well, these women are born and raised believing that the world around them owes them everything they want in life. They are told how to use and exploit men, and they are told how to do it. Make sure men are always around her. They are always ready to help. Support these women for any type of intimacy they want and are willing to help them. They are also told that men are meant to be used and discarded, and that women can be transferred from one man to another to increase resources, money, social influence and power. These women fear and despise mgtow men, who takes a back seat in relationships, and choose to go their own way and live their lives as free and independent men without having to deal with demanding women who will only use and exploit them. Let's get one thing straight. Most single men are straightforward and direct. They are single because they are not worth enough. They are either unnecessary or they are not. Put in enough effort to improve yourself. Gain the respect of women. In short, unmarried men are reluctant to approach women for fear that they will appear strange and be rejected. Would you believe me if I said, the game is completely different? Modern women really look down on single men. Not one, but all women despise all single men. The more single men they saw, the more worried they became. Why? Because it leads them to believe that men never want to be with women because being single is happier. Not wanting to be in a relationship with a woman really keeps women in the dark, and they always use and exploit men for their resources. Resources that these women no longer have. Do you have permission to access it? Now let me talk about how women rate their self-perception and self-esteem. Once you realize that, things will start to make sense and fall into place. The definition of attractiveness and beauty is found in women. This is widely considered to be her main selling point, as a woman's appearance is her most effective tool. Women are often used as symbols of desire and love. This made her popular in the past. The reason the beauty industry exists is because of jewelry that has been worn for a long time. Cosmetics have been used since ancient Egypt. Women are very conscious of how they look, and the more they can make themselves look like, the better suitors they will find. A woman will have a fairly large pool from which to choose her ideal mate. She will almost certainly choose the one with the highest value. This means how much a woman can attract is a major determinant of her worth in society. If no one approaches her and she gets rejected, she becomes worthless. If you think being rejected by a man hurts you, wait until you see what rejection does to a woman. When rejected, women completely break down. You just aren't used to it. When a date is cancelled or turned down, it can be difficult for women to digest the truth. This means fewer chances of getting free online verification. Women like this can even be found on TikTok. When they were in their 20s, fewer options for partners. You'll find them more often. Women, especially the most frenetic contemporary women ever, fear single men content with their own lives. They are disgusted at the sight of a man. However, being so happy and behaving so well doesn't require attention from women, and also not available online for free on dating sites like Tinder. This jeopardizes women's ability to attract men and reduces their value, as society expects it to be. They exploit men, stalking them for their attention, and courting them. According to society, in order to be truly happy, you must find the ideal girl and have a good marriage. Looking for practical and ideal people, women rely on this fantasy and date hundreds of men this way because they keep ignoring what society advises them to do. In this system, loners are similar to rebels. Men these days really understand the nature of women. Many successful and educated people understand this. Women exaggerate their feelings. This is not just my opinion. Every stand-up comedian and successful person. It's easy to reach women who admit they've analyzed the cost-benefit ratio and found it to be negative. In fact, the risk/benefit ratio drops even further when you factor in current issues like harassment laws, divorce, trappings and charges to track them down. A more fulfilling form of happiness. Many men who are embarrassed to associate with women simply give up and start a bachelor's life, work, start a business, travel, a kind of happiness that women cannot give. Men know the nature of women and don't want to play this game anymore. They even overcome their natural urge to stop attributing their happiness and worth to the women they choose to date. Instead, they come to rely on their own purpose in life, which is the fatal blow. To the woman who relies on these men approaching her at clubs for free drinks, lavish dinners, clothes and comments on social media. It's also important to realize that women can't control men the way they do until women stop controlling men. So it poses a serious threat. Women will pursue men, and men will be too busy with their goals to care if those men inspire more men. Remember, a woman's charisma and attraction are absolute, and once she pushes her limits, she'll leave the dating scene. On the other hand, if a man does not marry, his value increases because he has nothing to lose. If she doesn't find a boyfriend right away, she's in big trouble. If a man is not interested in her, she has no choice. Throughout history, women's genes have been more effective in influencing men, was passed on to the next generation. They hate that MGT0W violated their beliefs, and they're angry that we're taking it literally instead of using it as a test to put them in the right place. Men today can be divided into two categories. The first group consisted of weak men who succumb to the whims of women. The second category includes the blue pill who want to please women in order to develop intimacy with them and discover true love. They respect the wishes of women. Then there are men who go their own way and take seriously women's claims that they don't need men. If this is the case, they argue, then enjoying intimacy and taking all the risks is no longer sufficient reason. For a man, it's about staying in a relationship. Men used to die in conflict with less pain and suffering, at least it used to be. People today are worse off than people who died in battle, if he divorced, lost his home, his children, his wife and his purpose in life. In addition to respect and self-esteem, women can no longer play the victim card like they used to. Now that men know what women are, they also know what games women play to lure men into relationships and then enjoy life with their wealth and resources just to hook up with other men and turn around. The women cover it all perfectly with a Hollywood-style love story. Women just want us to fall into a trap for a manipulative love game, and that's our battleground. With you, women gain power by portraying vulnerability because it motivates men to commit, and care. Men, however, will go their own way, seeking other reasons for existence than protecting women, while women are increasingly asserting their power. If women don't need our protection, then why are we still here? While women want men to stay with them, take care of them, and listen to their problems, they also want men to think they are separate from them. Men who like to act independently tend to stay away and avoid women. Start by playing games. Instead, we chose to stay in the filthy Liberty City. As a result, we accumulate more wealth and alienate women who are disillusioned when they see what is unobtainable. Altogether, selection for a single-minded MGTOW male would severely hamper the ability of females to use males on a larger scale. When the economy no longer favors women, the market changes. In the past, more men meant greater influence over women. There are fewer and fewer men in the dating pool. Leverage will start now. To men, have you ever wondered how dependent men are on women, or how dependent women are on men? It's really a thought that crosses your mind every once in a while and makes you wonder, to what extent do men and women depend on each other? Can a woman live independently from a man? I'm not saying it's a matter of life or death. Would they still be able to live like this if the man in their life was gone? What would society look like if men were completely self-sufficient without requiring approval or validation from women in any way? Consistent with this assumption, we can also say that women will be completely independent of men, without any need for social or cultural structures to control them. If all men decide to break up with women and have to live alone, it will be the end of them all. This is what scares women deeply. This is what makes modern women despise men and fear the lonely reality of being alone, single, and miserable. Thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for updates about our upcoming video.